What if I told you that 1923 might already be over? And nobody said it out loud? No big announcement? No dramatic farewell? Just silence, after everything the Dutton family went through. After all the pain, the war, the sacrifices. We really supposed to believe that's the end? Or is something bigger happening behind the scenes? When Season 2 wrapped up, fans expected answers. Instead, we got tension, we got unfinished emotions. We got storylines that felt like they were still moving forward, and then suddenly, nothing. No clear confirmation of Season 3, no official trailer tease, no production updates. Just rumors spreading across social media like wildfire. Some say the show was always meant to end with 2 seasons. Others believe Paramount is quietly planning a surprise return. But here's the truth. The silence is what's making people nervous. The world of 1923 is not just another show. It's part of the massive Yellowstone universe. It carries the weight of the Dutton legacy. Fans didn't just watch it, they invested in it. They followed Jacob and Kara Dutton as they fought to protect their land. They watched Spencer survive impossible dangers across continents. They felt the emotional struggle of a family trying to survive one of the hardest times in American history. So when a story this powerful suddenly goes quiet, it doesn't feel normal, and here's where things get interesting. There was never a loud Season 3 is coming announcement, but there was also never a clear "the story ends here" statement either. That gray area is what fuels speculation. In Hollywood, when a show ends, studios usually make it official. They celebrate it, they thank the cast, they close the chapter. But with 1923, that closure hasn't fully happened. Which raises a serious question: was Season 2 truly the ending, or are we simply in the middle of a pause? Right now, fans are split into 2 groups. One side believes the show was designed as a limited series from the start, a 2-part story, a planned arc, clean and complete. The other side believes the story still has too many open doors to just stop. Spencer's journey doesn't feel finished. The future of the ranch still feels uncertain. And in a franchise that keeps expanding with new spin-offs, ending one of its strongest chapters so quickly seems strange. So is this silence a quiet cancellation? Or is it a strategic wait before a powerful comeback? That's the mystery we're about to unravel. Now let's step away from the rumors and look at the facts. Because when it comes to a show like 1923, the truth usually hides in the details. And the first big detail is this: from the very beginning, the series was described as a limited story. Not an open-ended multi-season drama, a focused chapter in the Dutton timeline. That alone changes everything. Reports around the time of the show's launch suggested that 1923 was planned as a 2-season arc, not 3. Not 5, 2. That means what we are watching now might have always been designed as a complete story, split into 2 parts. Just like 1883, which told its story and then ended without stretching things out. If that pattern holds true, then Season 3 may never have been part of the blueprint. But here's where things get complicated. There's been no dramatic cancellation announcement. No official headline saying 1923 will not return. And in television, that silence matters. When a show is canceled, studios usually make it clear. They control the message. They close the door, yet with 1923 the door feels slightly open. Not wide open, but not locked either. Another key factor is timing. Production delays hit the entire industry over the past year. Strikes slowed down filming schedules across Hollywood. Many projects were paused. Some were quietly restructured. So, if there were talks about a Season 3, those conversations could have been delayed rather than denied. That creates confusion, and confusion feeds speculation. Then there's Taylor Sheridan himself, the creator behind the entire Yellowstone universe, is juggling multiple projects at once. New spin-offs are in development. Existing shows are demanding attention. When a creative mind is stretched across several massive productions, priorities shift. That doesn't mean 1923 is canceled, but it does mean decisions become strategic. And finally, we have the cast. Big names like Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren. don't sign on to endless seasons easily. Their schedules are packed, their time is limited. If contracts were structured for 2 seasons only, extending the story becomes more complex and far more expensive. So when we look at the evidence, the limited series label, the lack of official renewal, the industry delays, and the busy production slate, the picture becomes clearer. Season 3 wasn't promised, it wasn't confirmed, and it may not have ever been guaranteed, but still, something doesn't feel fully settled. Now let's talk about something fans don't always see, the business side. Because no matter how powerful a story is, television is still a business, and big shows like 1923 are not cheap. In fact, they are extremely expensive. Think about it. This is not a modern-day drama filmed on simple sets. 1923 is a full-period production. That means detailed costumes, old-style towns, massive ranch land, horses, travel scenes across continents, and intense action sequences. Every single episode costs millions of dollars. Add in global filming locations and high-level actors like Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren, and the budget rises even higher. For a streaming platform like Paramount Plus, every season has to justify that cost. It's not just about loyal fans. It's about subscriber growth. Did 1923 bring in enough new viewers? Did it keep people subscribed long enough? Studios look at data, numbers, and long-term strategy, not just online excitement. There's also the bigger Yellowstone universe to consider. Taylor Sheridan isn't building just one story. He's building an empire. New spin-offs are already in motion. Future Dutton timelines are being explored. If the franchise continues expanding forward and backward in time, the studio may decide that the story of 1923 has already served its purpose. It connected important history. It filled a gap. It strengthened the legacy. From a business view, that might be enough. Another major factor is actor availability. Big Hollywood names come with tight schedules and high salaries. Extending the show means renegotiating contracts, aligning filming windows, and committing to long production periods. That adds risk, and studios don't like risk unless the reward is guaranteed. There's also a pattern in modern streaming. Many shows are now built for 2 seasons, clean, focused, no dragging storylines, a planned beginning and ending. Stretching beyond that can weaken impact. So it's possible that Season 2 was always meant to close the chapter in a strong way, rather than slowly fading over time. When you look at it from this angle, the idea of no Season 3 doesn't feel shocking. It feels strategic, it feels planned. It feels like a business decision, not an emotional one, but even with all that logic, fans still aren't ready to let go. But here's the part that keeps hope alive. The story doesn't feel completely finished. Even if 1923 was planned as a 2-season arc, there are still emotional threads that feel open. Spencer's journey has been long and painful. The future of the Dutton Ranch still carries tension. The family's fight for survival shaped the legacy we see in Yellowstone. And when a story leaves just enough room for what happens next, fans start believing there's more to come. There's also the power of demand. The Yellowstone universe has one of the most loyal fan bases in television. When viewers speak loudly enough, studios listen. We've seen shows return before because of strong audience support. In today's streaming world, nothing is ever truly impossible. Another possibility? The story of 1923 might continue, just not under the same title. The Dutton timeline is expanding. Future spin-offs could carry forward the consequences of this era without calling it Season 3. Instead of a direct continuation, we might see a connected chapter that completes the emotional arc in a different way. And remember, no official cancellation has been declared. Until those words are spoken clearly, the door is not fully closed. So is 1923 canceled? Or is it simply waiting for the right moment to return? In the Yellowstone universe, endings are rarely simple.